Okay, so I was given a chair by Ewin Racing Company. They saw how desperately I needed a new chair, and they were like, we got you, man. It's pitiful to look at. So they shipped me this chair to go ahead and take it for a ride, and honestly, it wasn't what I expected. I mean, it was a chair, so I guess it is what I expected, but how I was meaning more like comfort and how it felt. Anyway, I wanted to give this chair an honest review after putting about 2 weeks of bucked hours into it. What is bucked hours? That is buttocks upon chair testing time. I also chose that acronym because it low-key sounds like butt.
You did it. You're crazy.
Anyway, I wanted to put the time into this chair to get an honest review to you guys, so here it is. Here are my thoughts of the Ewin Champion Series Ergonomics computer chair. First, assembly wasn't really that difficult. It took me about, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes to put the chair together. Probably would have gone faster if all my kids weren't trying to sit in the chair whilst I was building it. But honestly, it was very easy. You just take the parts and you put them into the other part. I don't like how that sounds. You take the nuts and bolts and you screw. What did he say? Nope. You just assemble the chair. Very easy. Assemble the chair. It didn't take any time at all. I did run into a minor snag getting one of the pieces together. However, once I figured out what I was doing wrong, which was I was trying to force it, it worked out fine. I had no issue putting together this chair. Anyway, once I had built the chair, it was time to put in some of those bucked hours. However, I already set myself up for a problem. See, I built the chair downstairs when my office is upstairs. So getting this chair up the stairs was kind of a pain. And the other reason it was a pain isn't because it isn't comfortable, it isn't anything like that. It's a fairly heavy chair. It weighs quite a bit when fully built. And that also kind of pairs with their whole brand. Ewin has boasted about their company being the sturdiest gaming chair out there. And honestly, it kind of holds suit. So after getting it up the stairs and a couple of busted fingers, we were ready to test it out. It was time for the first sit down, and the chair itself has almost like a memory foam-esque kind of material on top of it, which gives it this kind of residual firmness. Now, if you sit in a leather chair or something that is like polyester or plastic or something along those lines, you know that it gives a little bit and it's just kind of a covering over a cushion. This almost feels like it's sewn in there. Like, when I'm sitting down, I have the comfort that I need and the flexibility moving back and forth, which was something that I was unaccustomed to. This is my first, like, gaming chair, so it was really nice. The armrest being movable in and forward, back, and out, all the different directions have been phenomenal. And on top of that, they have a bunch of pillows that is for head and back support. Specifically, I've been loving this one, which is the low back support. Most of the time when I'm sitting there editing a video, I am in the worst possible position that I could possibly be in. And this low back thing keeps me just where I need to be and make sure that my back doesn't get hurt. I got 3 little kids, so I'm picking them up and putting them down all the time. My back is already on fire. At least this computer chair isn't killing me. And most of the time in the evenings, I'm already holding a kid while I'm trying to edit a video. So the extra comfort is just premium. The chair has a ton of comfort and has a lot of flexibility moving back and forth across the mat that I have. There isn't a whole lot of push or pull or drag. The wheels really add that good mobility that you need if you need to stand up really quickly, or the ability to push forward when you really need to pay attention. All those different aspects that we kind of overlook when we're sitting down into a gaming chair. This chair has now made it apparent that I was severely lacking. Overall, this chair has a lot of things that I really like that I didn't know I needed until I had them. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about some of the negatives, because there were a couple that I noticed after putting in some of those sweet bucked hours. The first being that this chair does retain quite a bit of heat, which of course is great if you are downstairs in a basement or an AC'd house or things along that line. But honestly, I pay for the AC, so I keep the AC off as often as I can and just use the ceiling fan. And sometimes when it gets really hot outside, this chair does retain that heat very well, which I've found sometimes makes me sweaty. The second thing that I found troublesome was how wide of a profile that this chair has. My previous chair had a little bit more of a narrow scope, and I sit in an L desk. So when I sit here into the corner, my computers are facing 1, 2. So I'll be turned to face here, and I can't necessarily get up under the desk and scoot forward because of how wide this chair is. It does eat up quite a bit of room. Now, if you have a straightforward desk where all you are doing is sitting into it, you'll be perfectly fine. The last thing I will say is that even though I was gifted this one, the price point for the chair is fairly high. Currently running for $479 as of May 19th. However, I will say, and I've been keeping an eye on it, is that Ewin does constantly offer all sorts of promotional discounts. Currently, there is a promo available for 20% off, dropping the price down to $369.
Nice.
Overall, this chair is pretty fantastic. I will give it. It is worth the money that you would be spending on it. It gave me a certain level of luxury that I didn't know that I needed, but yeah, now I know that I can't go back. Between the materials, the easy assembly, I mean, everything just flowed and made it simple. And then on top of that, I actually feel like I'm more productive when I sit down. And I know that's odd, but this little low back pillow, which I wasn't using, prevents me from really slouching too much. So when I sit upright, I feel more engaged, productive, either playing the game or editing videos or doing anything like that. So that is a noticeable plus. Can you really put a price tag on productivity? So I've included down in the description below the link for this specific chair that I am using, as well as Ewin has been kind enough to give me a promo code, CDG, Caffeinated Dad Gaming, CDG, which is guaranteed to get you 20% off of any purchase that you make. 110% would recommend this chair. This is something that, again, I have to stress, I didn't know I needed, but now that I have it, it is just, it's so nice. If you want to see this chair and me live giving it a spin, tune in right here on YouTube at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. I stream for about 2 hours where you guys can talk and yell at me and tell me to drink more coffee or whatever you guys do. Anyway, stay caffeinated, folks.